Okay, so let's talk about intestacy in whether or not to file for a divorce and probate in general. What are some of those general rules, and should an individual, they're coming to you saying they might want to file for divorce, and part of our job is to make sure that we work with a client's CPA and financial advisors to determine, not only for the client sitting in front of you, but the family in general, what might be the best way to approach this and have a win-win for all involved. Some individuals may even have a decision of whether or not to seek a divorce or stay married. So looking at this, let me just describe some of the probate rules for you if you're not familiar with them. Elective share. Elective share is a statutory framework which exists in most of the states, and if not all. And basically what it has is a framework which says if you try to omit your spouse or you have no will at all, it gives you a basic equitable share of the decedent's estate. And basically what it says is you get a certain percentage of the estate based on oftentimes years of marriage. In Minnesota, if you're married 15 years, you receive half of the estate. I believe it's 10 years in Colorado. So just look that up in your state. And then you also receive a percentage based on the augmented estate. And what that means is augmented, lengthened, more than just the probate estate. And again, just briefly, there are probate assets and non-probate assets. Probate assets being joint tenant, transfer on death. Non-probate assets are assets that bypass the probate system, such as joint tenant and transfer on death deed, anything passing by trust, and any beneficiary designation assets. And then probate assets are the ones that are titled only in the decedent's name and do not have any of those titles in place. An augmented estate takes into account all of the assets, both probate and non-probate. So the idea there is just to make sure that you're dealing with an estate planning attorney who can also talk to you about those items if you're trying to decide whether or not to divorce an individual, and whether you financially would be better off staying married and availing yourself of those probate laws on a financial level.